Welcome everybody to live show number 11. And before I forget, I'd like to thank the moderators for keeping the chat civil, sponsors for sending interesting products, and you for showing up. And don't forget that there's a special giveaway on right now, or I should say contest really. If you go to 3dgameman.com and click on the giveaway link at the top right hand corner of the site, this is a good contest. Some of you probably already know about it. It is the, let me just go here to the main page. It's a cooler, and it's not just any cooler. It's the Coolit Vantage cooler, and this is an ALC cooler. These are very, very popular these days. Advanced liquid cooling CPU cooler, and Coolit teamed up with us to give away one of these coolers. So again, go to 3dgameman.com and click on the giveaway link at the top right hand corner of the site, and maybe somebody in chat has already linked this up. I don't know. Someone? Anybody? Nobody? Well, there you go. And by the way, if you are watching right now and you're not in chat, I would get in chat because, well, it's a good way to be interactive and so on and so forth. I'm just watching some of the comments here. And by the way, I'm using a new webcam for this live show. It's the Logitech C910 HD Pro web camera. This web camera is capable of 1080p. I'll go into that in more detail a little later on in the show. But if the video or audio is a little off in this show, well, I'll probably tweak it for the next show. I didn't have enough time for this live show to really get into tweaking, you know, everything with this brand new webcam. But I hope that everything's fine. Some people are getting some lag. Some people are saying that it's sharp. Some people are saying the audio is not so good, it's echoey. Some people are saying that it's fine. So I'm not quite sure. I guess when the recorded copy of this gets up on Ustream, I will be able to see more about it. And by the way, I'm using two cameras in this show. One is a webcam and the other is an HD camcorder. The camcorder I'll be using to upload to YouTube, the 3D Game Man channel later on. Okay, so let's get on with it. This show consists of three main segments. The first one's me answering questions that I selected from my RodneyReynolds.com website, the forum on that site, and me taking questions from you. That's the second part of the show about this week's video reviews and other videos. And finally, a mystery product, and this week it's a very interesting one. I have to say, we all can probably get a few laughs about this particular one. Now, first of all, I'd like to create a poll asking, where are you from? North America. Just very quickly here. Or overseas. And everyone can introduce themselves also in chat. Just to see every single week where everyone's coming from. There's a huge presence from overseas, which is incredible, to be honest, because you know, the time zone difference and so on and so forth. And by the way, speaking about time zone differences and that type of thing, some people are complaining that, whoa, the live show, it's too late, have it earlier. Well, I did a poll on this, and there was, I think, close to 1,000 votes overall, and most people voted for Saturday evening, and this is pretty much, you know, midway in the evening on Saturday. So, you know, I'm going by what most of you voted on, and that was Saturday evening. And to be honest, this is a good time for me, you know, kind of get supper out of the way, get the kids in bed, and I can kind of race down here around 8:30 or 9 o'clock and try to prepare for the live show at 9:30. And then after the live show, well, I can do whatever the heck I want to do. So this is a really good time for me. But it also supposedly is a good time for you folks as well. So the first part of the show is about me answering questions that I selected from my RodneyReynolds.com website. Let me stop the poll and remove the poll. And by the way, right now we have almost 150 viewers. That's good to see. It's good to see, you know, that breaking over 100 and almost going into 200. Hopefully we can get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Everyone out there, tell everyone you know about the live show, and you know, the more the better. So, okay, let's go to me answering questions about different things, not only technology, but sometimes there's other questions that people want to ask me. Okay, the first one is about cheap laptops. What's a cheap laptop? Well, you know what? I have a really cheap laptop. Like, I'm talking super duper cheap. I think I picked it up for like less than $400. It was an eMachines E-Series 15.6-inch AMD Athlon 64 TF-20 1.6 gigahertz laptop. And by the way, the model number on this one is EME627-5974. You can find more about that and all of my other computer and home audio stuff at www.rodsrig.com. Again, www.rodsrig.com. Let me link you up here in chat. You can go to that if you want to. Someone just mentioned eMachines sucks. Well, I don't know. This is the first eMachines laptop that I had. It works fine for me. I just use it upstairs if I want to quickly check an email, browse the web for something. I also use my phone for that. But it's kind of like a backup machine upstairs in case, instead of me having to race downstairs. You know, if I'm cooking a meal or if I'm doing something upstairs, I can quickly check that particular system. So it's not a workhorse for me. It's just something that I turn on every now and then, and it's fine for the most part. It's fine. So that's a cheap laptop. Some people were mentioning in this particular thread on 3dgameman on RodneyReynolds.com about, you know, like Intel Core i3 and Core i5 notebooks and laptops. You know, the i3s are pretty cheap, but the i5s not so cheap. But it depends on what you're using it for. You know, everyone has their version of cheap. You know, if you got lots of money, cheap, well, you know, is a lot more expensive than if you don't have a lot of money. So it's all relative. The next question is about high ping. This person's having a problem with ping. It could be a lot of things. It could be the network card, the controller, it could be the network driver, it could be your ISP, it could be a whole bunch of issues. You need to check all of these. Call your ISP, see maybe there's something going on, maybe it's the router, maybe it's drivers, update your latest drivers, and so on and so forth. That's what I would check if you were having that problem. And by the way, if you ever want to check your speed, you can go to speedtest.net. Let me just link everybody here if they want to check their speed later on, maybe. People are trying to post things before me. Sometimes they get in before me, but I'm winning tonight. I'm winning tonight. Okay, the next question. How come AMD is so cheap compared to Intel? Here we go with cheap again. They are more affordable. There's no doubt about it. And actually, the system that I'm using right now is a cheap AMD system. And it is cheap. I would prefer to say affordable. But I have both systems. This one here is an AMD rig, and this one here is an Intel rig. So, you know, it depends on what you're doing. Personally, if I was going for a hardcore work system, doing video editing and that type of thing, and gaming, go for an Intel i7 setup. If you don't have the money, and you really want to save some money, and you still, you know, want some really good results, and go with an AMD setup. There's nothing wrong with an AMD setup. You know, that's something like saying, if someone's saying, oh, well, a Mac, you know, that's great, that's fantastic, and that's, oh, well, get a Mac, don't get a PC, get a Mac. So it's very similar to that in a way. It's like, you know, each to his own. I mean, I kind of do prefer Intel over AMD stuff in a lot of things, in a lot of cases, but still, if you really, there's no better bang for the buck. There isn't. hands down, there is no better bang for the buck than an AMD system. And if you're talking about video cards, well, AMD have, oh boy, they've been on the ball. Because as we know, very soon AMD will release the new 6000 series video cards. And they should rock. And that's a good thing. This next question is about an optical disc drive. This person puts in a DVR disc. It's a game and the computer is coming up with wrong disc inserted. Boy, this could be a number of issues, but it might be that the drive is busted, possibly. If you try other discs and they work, it's not busted. It's the disc itself. You might want to clean the disc. That's another option as well. Just try and clean the disc and try other discs. Try other DVD-R discs. And try other CDs and see if they'll work. If they don't, try to clean the DVD-R disc and go from there, because it might be the drive, but it might be the disc. You might need to clean it and so on and so forth. So try that. Now this is an interesting question here about Windows 7 search feature. Most of us know that Windows, well, they have what's called a search index. Some of us turn it off because it slows things down a bit, but some of us like it. Some of us like to be able to search instantly, on Windows and then have results immediately show up. It can slow it down a bit because, it's always doing this indexing in the background, and, so some people enable it, some people don't enable it. And this particular question is specifically about enabling this with having a solid-state drive. And will this degrade the solid-state drive? Well, in a way it will. It will even degrade a hard drive because, of course, there's more stuff going on. It's the hard drive is having to work faster, the solid-state drive is having to work more, and that type of thing. So, but most people are keeping their computer systems for a few years, just 2 or 3 years, and they're getting rid of the hardware. So, to be honest, no, it's fine. It should be more than adequate. And a lot of new solid-state drives have trim support, so you don't have to do a lot of maintenance on them. You just pop them in. Don't worry about it. It should be fine. Okay, this next question is about video cards in a multiple video configuration. So having more than one video card in a, some kind of a multiple setup, whether it be an AMD ATI Crossfire setup or an NVIDIA SLI setup. If this is a rule of thumb, if you have a video card and it only has one bridge on top, it doesn't matter if it's an AMD or an NVIDIA video card, if it just has one bridge, you can only have, anyone? You can only have 2 maximum. So if you have a video card that has one bridge, you can only have a maximum of 2 video cards. If you have a video card that has 2 bridges, then you can have up to as many as 4 if you want to. So that's a general rule of thumb on that particular setup. Okay, let's see what timer's off. But I can go through a few more here. Well, this is something about increasing your signal strength when it comes to wireless routers. You can do that by getting extenders, or you can get also what's called power line kits. TrendNet has a few of these, and they're quite cool. Let me just link you to those in chat right now. These are some power line network devices which you can extend your wireless signal all throughout the house, outside of the house, in the garage, and so on and so forth. Okay, that ends part 1 of the show. So let's get on to part 2. Part 2 is about the products that I did videos on this week, and you can see behind me I did a video review on the new Logitech HD Pro webcam C910, and that's the one that I'm using actually right now, and I am using the video and audio on this particular webcam right now, so you can really get a good feel for that particular webcam. I want to take questions from you now about these products, about either the Logitech, well, let's do the Logitech one first. Logitech C910 webcam. If you have any questions, shoot away, fire away. Are you liking the quality of this webcam compared to the other one? The other one, you see this one. This is a nice webcam as well. This is the Microsoft LifeCam webcam, and this one goes up to 720p, and the Logitech can go up as far as 1080p. You know, good question. Good question. The autofocus on this particular camera is kind of a little wacky, and I never used it. I actually disabled the autofocus on the Microsoft one because it always used to, like, you know, stop and refocus all the time. The Logitech one doesn't. The Microsoft one, you know, used to have all kinds of weird autofocus issues, and I'm not quite sure that maybe they updated these from the time of when I purchased this one. But, you know, I mean, some people don't use autofocus. They just set it to manually. You can do this with the Logitech as well. You can set it manually or not. So any questions specifically? Any more questions? Is 1080p really necessary? You know what? In most cases, it is not. I mean, even for what I'm doing, people are asking me, well, why don't you do your video reviews in 1080p? Well, you know what? 720p is more than enough. And also, when you get involved with 1080p, it's massive file sizes, extended rendering times, and so on and so forth. And if you make a mistake, you got to go back and re-render it all. It's a nightmare when you're dealing with 1080p right now. Until you can get, you know, software, video editing programs that can use video cards, and you can get CPUs that have you know, multiple CPU setups and so on and so forth. When you can get rendering times down, rendering at 1080p is not a joy. Yeah, 720p is fine. At least I think it's fine for now. I mean, I think it would be fine for a very, very long time. Face detection, how does it work? Well, it basically follows the face. It recognizes certain points on the face, like the mouth, the nose, the eyes, the ridgeline, that kind of stuff. And it will track that, you know, depending upon where you move. It'll kind of zoom in on your face and kind of just track your face. Yeah, well, see, this is the next thing, isn't it? You go 1080p, and then you got to go 3D. Rodney in 3D. Well, we have 168 viewers. That's good to see. I see some people here are private messaging me, and you know, during the live show, I just don't have a chance to just go in there and read all this stuff. So sorry if I don't answer you. I know that some people do that, but I just don't have time. 3D Game Man in 3D. Can you imagine? Yeah, 2D Game Man, but he's playing 3D games. Okay, so any more questions about the Logitech C910 webcam? Anyone? Anyone? That's true. If it goes 3D, then everyone has to wear those silly 3D glasses. Okay, I'll move on so I can keep this rolling. The next product I did a video review on this week was the Silverstone GD03 home theater PC case. Does anyone have any questions on this particular product? And by the way, see if I can lift this product over here without smashing everything up, because it's a little on the heavy side. This is a mostly steel case, and no, I don't want to fit this on here. It's a desktop case, so here we have it. Yeah, it is kind of large for a home theater PC case, but you know what the good thing is about a case like this? You can fit standard ATX power supplies and standard ATX motherboards in it. So this can be a beast. Wow, look at that. By the way, can somebody link up in chat now? I'm kind of holding this case up so I can't type. Can somebody link to these two video reviews I did? One of the mods maybe. Link to Logitech C910 review. Also, please link to the Silverstone GD03 home theater PC case. That would be great. Okay, thanks. Thanks. Ah, Zach won. Okay, so let me just quickly go over this case. This case is mostly steel, brushed aluminum front, optical disc drive right here, except a regular 5 1/4 inch, which is good. Door right here, you can put another 5 1/4 inch drive in here. Why would you have, for example, two 5 1/4 inch bays in a case like this? What do you think? Well, you could use this, which would be kind of weird because you would need to swing the door open and leave it open. You could have some kind of smaller display here if you wanted to, although that would be kind of weird. And you can also install an external 3 1/2 inch drive here as well. So you got two external 5 1/4 inch drive bays, which is kind of a little strange for a home theater PC case, because normally there's one, and sometimes if there is one, the 5 1/4 inch accepts only a slim 5 1/4 inch optical disc drive. Oh, by the way, the power button is at the top here. Another large door, or large door, another door over this side. It's pretty large. This is a really cool feature with this case. I love this. Very easy to remove, hot swappable drive cages. Just pop in the drive, 3 1/2 inch drive, and slide it right back in. Hot swappable again. And by the way, these trays are aluminum, and I have to say that they do stick going in. It doesn't help that the case is kind of like propped up as well, but they do stick a little tiny bit. Dust filter here on the front. You can install two optional 80mm fans. Two USB 2 ports, no USB 3 in this case. Audio jacks, as well as a FireWire port. I don't see FireWire ports much anymore, to be honest. Usually it's USB 3 now, entirely, or USB 2, maybe one USB 3, and possibly an eSATA or external serial ATA port. And right here is the reset button. So that almost ends this segment. Just have to tie this up. On the left side, there's ventilation here for a standard ATX power supplies fan to intake cool air. And on the right side, you can install an 80mm fan optional. And at the back, standard stuff. Two 80mm fans, a place to install a motherboard's I/O shield plate, 7 ventilated expansion slots. Here is where you install an ATX power supply, a standard one, and some extra ventilation as well. At the bottom, look at that. Cool audio video style feed. You have to love audio video style feed. Is it expensive? No, it's not very expensive. This is pretty much an affordable home theater PC case. But remember, the big thing about this particular home theater PC case is that it fits standard stuff. Standard ATX motherboards and standard ATX power supplies. Oh, and another video that went insane this week was a poll video. And I'll just ask this question here. This is a touchy subject, you know. But people seem to love this poll. I mean, the poll went nuts. There's over 1,000 votes here. I have to say that most people are pirating. At least this is what this poll is showing. I don't know, folks. Has anyone linked to the poll yet that I had on 3D Game, Rodney Reynolds, 3dgameman.com? Sorry, Rodney Reynolds, 3D Game Man, Rodney Reynolds. I got to it again first. Yes, you were owned, my friend. Well, look at this poll tonight. Look at this. Everyone here watching, voting. Do you pirate software? Most people pirate. 68% to 31. And go to the poll video I did on 3dgameman.com. The link is there on the screen, and I'll do it again. And I mean, not only did people vote in this poll, they were commenting like mad about what they pirate and so on and so forth. This poll should be very interesting for any kind of software developer, and I'm sure they already know this. But the results, I mean, I wasn't surprised in a way, but I think that a lot of the comments and other things about the poll was very interesting. And I'm going to try and, well, have more interesting, controversial polls in the future, because, well, they're interesting. Okay, that ends the second part of the show. I'm running behind again. So let's go, let's go. Oh, and by the way, at the end of the show, I have something really special. The next part of the show is about a mystery product. That's interesting as well. But at the end of the show is about 3D Game Man t-shirts. And hopefully you want some. At least you said you did. So let's start part 3 of this live show. And it is about an interesting product. And that interesting product is this. Anyone? What is this? Huh? Nobody knows what this is. Somebody said a sex toy. No, it's not. Nobody can guess. Nobody can guess what this is. Not dust filters, not an egg cooker, not a light. It's not a magnifying glass. This is an external enclosure. This product is from InWin, and this is called O-Ring. This is the InWin O-Ring 2.5 inch enclosure. This is an external enclosure, and let me open up one right now so you can have a closer look. But first of all, have a look at the box. They come in a number of different colors, as you can see. This one's blue, this one's like, I don't know, pink or something, and this one's green. So, just have a closer look at this. Now, how do you figure this is going to work? This O-ring is rubber, and it stretches around a 2.5 inch hard drive, and it connects via a USB 2 connection. Okay, so let's open this up and see what's inside. No knife needed. Put my knife away. Somebody said the magnifying glass? Well, you know what? It does kind of look like a magnifying glass. But it's not, of course. It is an external 2.5 inch enclosure. Wow. If I can stretch this around my head. So this is supposed to go around a 2.5 inch hard drive. I don't know exactly how this is going to work. This end, the hard drive goes in here, and this end gets connected into the computer's USB port. Interesting product, though. A very, very interesting product. And they include the user's manual right here. Now, I will be doing a video review on this, hopefully next week. So there will be a lot more information on this in the upcoming video review that I'll have for you next week. And by the way, the hard drive would need to be in its own external enclosure first. So you would need to put the hard drive in an external enclosure, and then you would need to put that inside of here and then connect it into your computer system. So I'll have a lot more on this, look at that, next week. I don't know, it's very, very unique, I have to say that. This is going to get a lot of attention for InWin, I think. This is going to, people are coming in right now and they're seeing this and they're wondering, what in God's name is this? Well, if you missed it, this is an external enclosure. And it supports 2.5 inch external hard drive enclosure. So you put the hard drive in an enclosure, and then you put the enclosure in this, and then you connect this into your computer's USB 2 port. So there you have it. You want me to try and stretch this around my head? Let's see if I can stretch it around my head. I think it'll hurt me though, because there's a sharp point right here. There's a connection right here, so I really can't do that. So I could kill myself. I could put a hole in my head. Trying to think what I can do with this right now. It's funny. Again, I'll have much more on this product in the video review. This could be the next t-shirt. Okay, speaking of t-shirts. speaking of t-shirts, we have some very interesting t-shirts, 3D Game Man t-shirts. There you go, Zach. Already got the link up there. If you want a t-shirt, if you want your very own 3D Game Man t-shirt, come on over and order it. A lot of people, you can follow the link that's in the chat. Zach, if you can keep posting that, that would be great. These t-shirts are fantastic. Why? Well, because they're 3D Game Man t-shirts, of course. There are two different designs. There's one that has the 3D Game Man logo at the top, right here. And then it had, one of them has 100% kick-ass product with an arrow pointing down. How cool is that? You're going clubbing and wear this shirt. Man, you get so much attention from the ladies, even the ladies from the men. And the other t-shirt is something, well, that I say quite a bit. Unfortunately, the motherboard tray is not removable. So there are two different designs to choose from. And I will be sending this all over the place, all over the planet Earth, for Canadians, my fellow Canadians. Also my neighbors to the south, US, and all the other countries internationally, overseas, all around the world. Yes, there will be international shipping, but here's what is going to happen, and some of you might go, oh man, this is kind of weird. Okay, what's going to happen is this. You have to order it first. You have to pay for it first. Then I'll call up my t-shirt guy and say, guy, make me some t-shirts. He'll say, okay. And then I'll get them made. Then he'll be busy making them, and then he'll ship them to me. And then I'll send them out to you. But why I'm doing payments up front from you via PayPal is because I want to see if people are actually going to buy them first. I don't want to order 200 or 300 shirts. I'm going to order 200, hopefully, and for the first run. I don't want to order that many shirts and, you know, be out hundreds and hundreds of dollars and nobody wants them, because that could happen. Although, according to the poll on the t-shirts, a number of polls that I did, a lot of people are interested. But when it comes to asking for money, that's a whole different story altogether. So if you are interested in these, come on over and get one. And keep in mind that I only have so many. I'm only giving away so many per, not giving away, but selling so many per country. 32 to be exact. I'll link that up again. Because Zach did it as well, but I'll link you up again. I'm only giving away 32 t-shirts for each region. So 32 t-shirts for Canada, 32 for the US, and 32 internationally for each design. So if you don't get on it and get them, you're going to miss it. So if you want some t-shirts, head on over to this link and get one, because otherwise you might miss your chance to get one. And I know having 32 per region sounds a little unfair, it's not a lot, and so on and so forth, but who knows, you know, maybe nobody will order any, so I want to do that first. You guys pay for them first, then I'll get them made, then I'll ship them out. And be patient, because it probably will take a while for all of this to happen. And I will be taking, this will be open, I'll give you until the end of October, you know, to get some funds together if you want to get a t-shirt. I'll give you to the end of October, and then after that, hopefully, if it goes ahead, I'll, you know, call my guy, my t-shirt guy, or gal, and tell them to produce me some t-shirts, and we'll go from there. Now, what happens if, for example, I don't get enough orders? Well, if I don't get enough orders, I'll just refund you the money. As simple as that. You can trust me, don't worry about it. I'll just refund you the money, and nobody will be for the worse. I would love to, of course, sell them all pretty quickly. That would be great. And we could do more t-shirt designs in the future as well. But these are a couple of designs that apparently you folks like, because we did a number of polls here on this. One of the t-shirts being 100% Kick-Ass product, and the other one being, unfortunately, the motherboard tray is not removable. So there you have it. This is the end of this live show. I'll have a post show as well, so you can stick around to watch that for a few minutes as well. If any of you have any questions for me about anything that we did here tonight. And by the way, this is a reminder before I end this live show. If you are going over to rodneyreynolds.com and you're posting a forum thread, make sure that you do a search first. Just do a quick search on the site first to make sure that the question hasn't been asked before, because there are a lot of questions that have been answered over there, and by myself and other people as well. And maybe if before you ask a question, just do a quick search and see if it has been answered. So this ends live show number 11. Thanks for showing up. Thank you, moderators, for being around, sticking around, taking out time from your busy schedule, and also thanks to the sponsors for sending interesting products, and of course, thanks to you. Okay, well, I'm out of here. Take care.